Hey guys, it's Ozzy here from Oz Trading, and I just wanted to put together a quick video to run down the weekly watch list that I put together for the upcoming week. So let's jump right into it, right? So the first section I have here is like an introduction with some reminders on some key bullets here. So earnings, coronavirus, and technical levels, right? So these are the three things that I want to remind myself of going into the week. Ahead of us. So now earnings, the first bullet point, right? We have a couple earnings, companies reporting earnings this week, and what I want to focus on for those are, before getting into the position, I want to make sure that I have a good understanding of what the company reported for their quarterly earnings. I want to understand what their guidance is for the upcoming quarters and the rest of the year or 2021. Once I know that, I will look at the price action the following day after, the pre-market session when they report earnings. What happens? Because most of these companies either report pre-market or after-market. So I want to make sure I understand what happens there, and find chart patterns, find breaks of support or resistance levels to play to the upside or downside. That's I remind myself of that so I don't risk anything beyond that. Coronavirus, this one here, I have this as a bullet because obviously this is the subject of the world right now. Everybody's talking about the coronavirus. This is important, and it impacts a lot of individual tickers, like some of these pharmaceutical names like Pfizer. For example, last week we had some news about Pfizer facing some supply chain issues, and it sold off quite a bit, right? So definitely keep an eye out for some type of news like that, and you can catch some nice plays along with these individual names. Airlines that they have been popping off for the past 2 weeks, and I think they can potentially go higher. So that's another name to. Those are some names to keep in mind. Peloton and Zoom, for example, these are names that are highly related to the coronavirus pandemic. So definitely keep these on watch. And then third bullet point here is technical levels, right? So you want to over the weekend or pre-market before the market opens or after hours, you want to be doing some kind of review of your charts. You want to make sure that you have your charts updated to the most recent technical levels. You have to do your technical analysis. Basically, that's what this bullet is here for. It's just to remind you to do your technical analysis and be aware of key technical levels so you know what to watch out for. The next section I have here is the economic calendar for the week. I get this screenshot from forexfactory.com. I have it filtered so that I'm only looking at USD currency news. And you can see this week is pretty slow. We don't have no Jerome Powell speaking. He's not testifying. He's not doing anything. He might pop in somewhere and talk at some point during the week, but nothing scheduled. There is no FOMC minutes or anything related to FOMC. What we need to focus on is on Thursday at 9:30, right around the open. You hear my little bird in the other room chirping. You guys hear that? But we need to focus on Thursday at 9:30. See what happens off these unemployment claim numbers. Every week they're changing, so we might see an increase. We might see a decrease. That's all going to help us understand which way the market wants to go. So keep an eye out for those. There's nothing really significant this week to focus on, so just always have that on your watch. That's why I keep it on here. Stocks reporting earnings for the week. So this is the section where I have a screenshot from Earnings Whispers schedule here for the week. The ones that I'm focusing on are going to be Chewy, GameStop, maybe AutoZone. I want to see what SFIX does. Stitch Fix has had some big moves in the past. Adobe, I think this is going to be a big one here. Restoration Hardware always does some type of movement, after they report earnings. Costco, I know some people in our chat room got into some Costco puts. Let's see what happens there. Broadcom, Lululemon, I had this on a watch list actually. We'll go into this one a little deeper. I think it's flagging on a daily. Oracle, Dave & Buster's, Lakeland, just take a look at this and some of the names that you trade regularly, you might be able to trade the day after they report. So definitely keep that in mind. All right, so that's the earnings section. Then we move on to the overall market, and this is where I provide my input here in text. And for this purpose of this video, I'm gonna stick to just the audio off this chart. So what I have here, let me explain real quick. I have a swing low to swing high Fibonacci retracement um, indicator here, right? So I'm moving from the swing low to the swing high, and that gives me my 50% retracement level at 32.55.38. What happened was we pierced through that in September, and then pushed back up to some highs around 35.36. Then we sold off back again and tested that same low, creating a double bottom here at that 50% level. This time we didn't pierce it as much. One day we came down below, and then we bounced right back after. This was pretty volatile environment before the election, so you had that dip down below. It was looking bearish at one point, and then we quickly reversed higher, and ever since then we've been going higher and higher and higher. And this was probably like one of the best months the market has ever seen. So, and that's when this is when like Dow actually hit 30K again after several months from the coronavirus sell-off. So what happened after that 50% retracement held was we came up and we started to form a bull flag here. And I had this actually on my weekly watch list last time before this week. That's why I was extremely bullish this week, because we broke out of this bull flag. I took it out from here for now, but you can see this little pattern here causing a bull flag with this big spike. And then we rallied up into 3,700. I was looking for 3,705, but we hit 3,700. What I'm looking for this week is a break above 3,705 to buy some calls up to 3743.50, and then possibly a short squeeze higher to 3,800. If we do get to 3,800 this week, I honestly will be inclined to buy some puts up here, as we will be overextended on the daily, and that would be a good location for profit takers to actually take profit after being in it for such a long time, that people might want to get rid of their positions, because pullbacks do happen in this market. So as we've seen multiple times this year. What was the end result though? We were back here, all-time highs, never been higher than this before. So this is it. So now what I'm looking for the upside is that's my main upside level for this week. What I'm looking for on the downside is if we crack down below, we're at 36.90, we closed at 36.90. If we get below 36.43, I'll probably short futures or something down below to 36.08. This is the level where I will be bullish above, bearish below, right? So if we crack down below 36.08, I anticipate us moving back down to the bottom of this bull flag that I set up earlier. It's 35.37. So that level will be my main support level here. Not the main support level. The main support level is this right here, which would be the 50% retracement. If you drew this out, it would be from here to high. 50% retracement would be around this 34.26 level. And if we get down there after breaking the 50 EMA, I would most likely buy some calls to go back up. Because what do you do in this market? You buy the pullbacks, buy the dips. You buy the dip. That's what we learned this year. Anyway, so that's my thoughts on the S&P markets. Let's move on to some individual tickers that I'm looking at. First one's Netflix. I've had this on my watch list for a while. So here's the thing. We tested this support level here, highlighted many times. 1, 2, a couple times here actually. 3, this is more the triple bottom here. So I'm anticipating the support level to still hold. And we're not too far away from it. It's 467.28, 26. Now, in terms of where we're at right now for Netflix, I'm anticipating this 494.50 level to hold. We tested it on Wednesday, we tested it on Friday, and we held that level. And it was a previous resistance level too. So you can see one resistance here, one here, one here. So that's 3 times it couldn't get above there. Now it pushed above to 503.6, and now this level is a support level for us, which is reacting as support. So now what I'm looking for is a move above 503.6 to 519.14 and possibly higher after that. That's my expectation for Netflix. If we drop below 494.5, I will be buying puts down below to this 480 level here, and then down below to this 467.26 support level. That's my plan. Hopefully, we could ride this higher. I would like to ride it more higher because we have more potential for a run higher than we do for a big sell-off here. Because if we do sell off, we'll probably go down to 467. But if we take off running, we have plenty of room here, guys. So keep this on watch. Next one is CGC. I mentioned on Friday I had a position on this. I got in with the chat room. So here's why I got in. Right, we were approaching the 50 EMA on the hourly chart. We broke it actually, and then we sold down to 2804, which is where I added 5 more contracts of next week's excuse me, of next week's $30 calls. My target is basically $30.22 and then $31.35. Right now it's looking good. Right now, so far everything's looking good from the lows to the highs. We held that 2804, bounced up nicely, and even in the after hour session on Friday, we kind of pushed up higher. We closed at 28.59, but the bids, you can see the bids at 28.99 and 29.20 ask for the after hours session on Friday. So that's what I'm looking for on here. I'm bullish on this, and let's see if we can get that nice gap up over the weekend. The next stock is American Airlines. So American Airlines, obviously we have this nice downtrend breaking here. We pushed up higher above here. We had some kind of like chop over here. I did get in at one point above 13.5 and I lost on some calls, but you see what happens afterwards. We moved up to $17 here. 1640 is where we closed at. On Monday, if we can push above 1704, I'm going to buy some calls up to 1877 and 2035. That's my target to the upside. To the downside, I'm not really trying to play this stock to the downside, so I'm not really prepared for that. But if we drop below 1461, I can anticipate us going back below 13.5 and even back down to $12. But I am bullish on the stock. We had some nice volume. I think we can go back up. Friday's volume, you can see we had 140% of our average 30 days, 117 million volume here. So they definitely something to look at. And then when we go down to the next one here, right, Lulu, which reports earnings on Thursday, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But what I'm looking for here is so we held this 50% retracement, not this 50%, the 61.8% retracement level here, and we started pushing up ever since then, right? So we formed a little double bottom here. You could probably say a triple bottom. But we pushed back up above here, and now we hit that target, negative 23.6. That's what I look for. I look for a hold of the 50% and the 61.8, and I look for the upside targets at the negative 23.6 and negative 61.8. And now we're forming a bull flag on the daily chart, which is right around that profit target. So I think if we get above 380, we can get that nice push up to that 403.75 level. But I would for first anticipate us getting up to this resistance level here at 393.52. So that's the plan on this. And again, I don't really plan on playing this to the downside. But if we do see some price action early on in the morning on Monday, that indicates a break above this 380 and is looking strong with increased volume, I would take some calls up to the top here. Next stock is Twitter. After their latest earnings, they sold off quite a bit. You can see from $52.93 we're down to like $39. We recently had a nice run up though with the market moving higher in November, so we're at that 48.3 level. That's where we got rejected off of on Friday. If we can get above this 48.3, I can anticipate us moving higher into this $50 level, and that's like a 2-point move that will pay on weekly contracts. So let's look for a break of this 48.3 for a move higher, and then we already filled this gap here, but we still have this part of the gap to fill. This would fill half of it, and this would fill the other. So this is still a long-term growth stock in my eyes, and I think it's going to go higher. But let's focus on this level for this week, 48.3, as the pivot to the upside or downside. The last stock I have on here is AMD. AMD has been crazy. It has had an awesome year, and it closed out. It didn't close at the all-time highs, but it did make a new all-time high this past week. Forming a little bit of a flag here on the daily, but I'm looking for a move above $94 this week. to ride up to 98.69, and then 105.10 is my ultimate target for this AMD. That's what I'm looking for. Again, this is a stock that I'm interested in playing to the upside. Right now, the chart is not really screaming anything bearish on this name, but it can change. If we do decide to, try to play this to the downside, I will look for some type of chart pattern that forms that's going to be bearish. That'll indicate some selling pressure. So let's keep that on watch too. I think this is bullish. We'll probably hit 105.10 in the near future. This is screaming buy. And just so you guys know, if you guys want to ever watch this video again, it's unlisted on YouTube, but you can access it through this link here. It's at the bottom of the watch list. And yeah, so guys, if you guys like this video, please let me know. I kind of want the feedback, guys. I want to know what you guys think about these types of videos, the watch list, any recommendations that you guys want to see more of, what kind of content you guys would like to see. Just send me an email at contact@ozzytrades.com, or join our Discord chat room server. Go to the homepage of this website, and there's a link at the bottom to join. Join, ask me, DM me a question, ask our community. Our community is very helpful. We have tremendous traders that are calling out plays during market hours, that are assisting other traders after market hours. We have a great community, guys. So just any questions, join the community and ask. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the video. I will try to put more content on YouTube. I just created this channel, so let's see what we can do with it. But I'll see you guys in the chat room on Monday. Have a great weekend, guys.